more you talk about it, the more and more these blogs are going to dig. Now, let's bring Storm Monroe on. Storm, how are you doing?
I'm good, Wiley. Wait a minute. First of all, Wiley, it's been such a long time. Last time we seen each other, it was two men and a lady.
And now you are at 116,000 followers now. And when I first got to know you is when Tasha shouted you out. You was at 5,000 subscribers, and now you are 100,000. How do it feel?
You know what, man? It feels great. You know what I'm saying? I just been putting in the work, putting out these videos, just sitting back. You know, some things I feel like I should have, like, damn, I wish I would have got that interview, or damn, I wish I would have got that. But God's timing is the right timing. And he set everything up exactly the way it needed to be. So it feels great.
Because I'm asking you this because you picked up this interview with Jaguar, Wright? And did you know that this would have gotten so viral? Did you know that this was going to happen?
No. I thought we would have a decent conversation. I'm not going to lie. But this is something I got to clear up. I myself did not even get this interview for me. And no, Tasha did not get this interview for me. The Storm Chasers got this interview for me. I DM'd her weeks ago and she didn't see it. She gets a bunch of DMs every day, but my Storm Chasers got in her comments and just flooded her shit flooded her stuff. And then she was like, let me call him and see what this dude is about. And then we just clicked from there. So my people literally got that interview for me.
Because everybody kept saying Tasha K got that interview. No. There was your audience that did, because there's power in numbers. And so she come on your show, she answered. I'm talking about I even said that Storm is not ready for this type of interview with the information as a historian, because she was naming stuff what was before your time.
And that's okay. Even though she was naming things that was before my time, what you got to realize is she felt comfortable to name it. And so when I talk to people, and even when they talk to me on my show, you shouldn't talk to me. Talk through me. Because guess what? The people that watch me, they know who she's talking about. So even if I miss something, somebody else is going to pick it up. So that's okay. That's okay.
When you broke down with the interview, when you did the interview, you asked these questions. Have the stuff shocked you? Have anybody reached out to you and say, hey, you need to take this down? Have you gotten that type of response yet?
No, I haven't. Not from any verifiable profile. What I did notice is that right after the interview, I started getting a lot of trolls. So it would be like Mary J. Blige's #1 fan, such and such #1 fan. Like after I roasted the real, how I had all of those trolls coming all of a sudden. So I'm like, okay, you know, these are kids or these are celebrities on their burner pages, whatever. But yeah, that was about it.
When I saw the interview, I knew it was something special because she talked for 3 hours and I sat there and listened for 3 hours.
Yes, you did. I kept your attention
for 3 hours because and then when you kept saying Mary J. Blige, it triggered her. She dragged Mary J. Like it was certain words where she was dragging Mary J. Blige, and I'm like, why is she saying it? Because I keep forgetting that Jaguar Wright is in the industry. So a lot of things she's saying we don't know unless we are in the industry.
But a lot of things, Wiley, we're not going to know because with these celebs, they give you their professional face. You know, they have managers, they have attorneys, they have a lot at stake. You know, even when it comes to somebody like Steve Harvey, he has a lot at stake. He's not going to keep it real. It's a money game, and he said that, and that's how it is with these celebs. And so at the end of the day, when we are so blessed to have someone from the industry to tell us things that we can't see, it's a blessing to have it because they're not going to say it unless their ass is on the line. Like when R. Kelly went down, then everybody started talking. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Because when she talked about Jill Scott and to see Jill, so she had to respond because she took the comments off. How did that make you feel to see a celebrity is subliminally talking about you and talking about your interview?
Talking about my interview, it felt good because, I knew they were watching anyway. I know I've been able to verify that Snoop Dogg was watching because he was literally posting right as we were talking about Diddy, he posted Diddy with a pressing curl in the open shirt down here. So I'm like, come on, Snoop. Like, the thing is, a lot of them, Wiley, they're with the shits, man, and we're able to say the things that they can't, so they low-key rooted on, and then they hope we're not spilling AT. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Good.
When she in the interview, she said P. Diddy is not her target. Her target is Clyde Davis. And everybody that that they say Clyde is a culture vulture, he's not for the culture. But I never seen nobody like her actually say it with strength. And
Right.
I'm afraid to come and say it. It was a lot of back talk, but she putting it out there to say he is the head of this situation.
But he is, Wiley. He is when you talk about the serpent, the beast, Baphomet, whatever you want to call it, the head of this shit, it's him, because he's been in the game for so long. Like, these artists today are being pimped. I have to say allegedly, but being pimped, but they were in the 40s and 30s too. Hell, Aretha Franklin, her daddy was tapping that. So you think a girl that comes from a family like that, the industry loves those victims because they can do the same thing to them, except, hey, your daddy screwed you. He ain't give you no money, but we gonna give you a deal. I'm gonna make you a star. Just do X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying it went down like that, but you get my point. It's
and I'm glad you said that, because she said you have to cut it off from the head, and she's not afraid to say it. I wish more people, because they tried to label her crazy.
They always do that.
But you said even if she get a magazine wrong, and when you fact check what she's saying is on point. So I'm glad you put that out there, because some people is saying, "Oh, this woman is crazy." And then you had another guy, what was that, her bandmate, the man that came out and exposed her, said exposing Jaguar, right? He said that she was getting on top of him, and pretty much I'm like, what? And that she
never hid that, Wiley. She said I had a husband, and then I was smashing Talib Kweli. She never ran from
it. Yeah, she did say that. But what do you think for her that you would like to see? Because she said that y'all could take this on the road. Actually, you can have her just traveling the country. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast with her or doing a show with her?
Ah, man, I would say never say never to any possible opportunity. But one thing I can say for certain, because I always say don't tell everybody your plans, because people be praying against you, but we covered in the blood of Christ. Our energies are protected, and we don't hear no evil, see no evil. I would say definitely having her on weekly. The people are loving it because she talks real stuff. And it's just like I'm talking to my aunt. It ain't even like I'm talking to a stranger, and I've never met her in person.
Wow. And the thing about it is she is so open and telling you everything. She ain't cutting it off. She ain't rushing. She literally giving you hours of just the industry. And I would say this, if you're in the business, you should listen to what she's saying so you don't get involved and sucked in that industry. Now, you at 100,000 followers, are you going to slow down? What you going to do next? Because, once I see so many people reach 100,000, some fall off. They don't get the views. The hunger gone. So what are your plans now that you at 100,000 now?
First, I can tell you, no matter what, I'm always speaking positivity.
The hunger gone. So what?
Are you? I was just going to say, no matter what, I'm always going to speak positivity and prosperity over my channel, over my business, over my brand. And for me, the next step is to keep it pushing. The next step is continue to give the people what they want and continue to keep it spicy for them at the same time. I've only scratched the surface of what I can do. And I'm just going to continue to put in that work. I'll be honest with you, Wiley. The reason why you see a lot of people fall off is because when the money gets better, you don't have to work as much. And then it's so easy to go from not working as much to like, I'll just put up a video once every 2 weeks and I can still live. Some people can do that. And that's great. But some people have that. They have a strong audience to do it. And then some people, it's like people going to want, go to something else. So I love what I do. This is not work to me. So it's just like I'm having fun.
And you put it out there, even with your long interviews, you still chop each part of, you give me that Vlad strategy. I call it Vlad TV because you know Vlad, but instead of you interviewing and posting, you'll get it and then chop that down. So it's no excuse. So you can't miss. But you've been doing that before the Jaguar Wright interview. You have always given us of your show.
Yes,
when I first met you, that's what you would do. You would bing, 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 bing. So it's like it's second nature.
It is. It's second nature. It ain't even. And don't get me wrong, Wiley. I had to bump my head like for a while. I was taking forever to edit stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this. Chop, chop, chop. There you go. Vlad did. He made that business plan, and Vlad makes $2 million a month doing that. So I'm just because look, let me give you a secret to YouTube, man. How you grow is your watch time in your videos. So if your average watch time for your video is say 12 minutes, you need to be making videos that are like between 11 and 16 minutes. That's how YouTube pushes your shit. If your average watch time is only 5 minutes, but you do a 3-hour show, you're not going to grow. That's a secret that a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I've learned that because when you chop it, more you'll consume. Actually, that could get you more than what the original was.
Yes, because people don't have time. Everybody don't have like I've had a lot of jobs where I can just like play YouTube. So I love the 3 and 4 hour shows, but everybody don't have the time while they want to get the tea and they got to get back to work.
Absolutely. So with this, what do you see yourself? Because I know you're doing acting. Are you going to bring back the skits?
Yes. I've just been trying to figure out how I want to do it, but I think I'm just not even going to overthink it. Like I'll be up here acting out something with a broom and a Swiffer jet, and people still like it. So you'll get the point, and I'll make it work. And eventually, yes, the set will get better. But yeah, definitely incorporating more skits, expanding into talking about some real topics in other areas. I have my Patreon and my members. Shout out to all of you guys. You know this will repost the exclusive tea before everybody else gets it. In addition to all my conspiracy content is over there. And yeah, while we building and we growing. God is
on that. When your name come up, they try to throw your sexuality in it. And ever since I've known you, you don't make that a part of your content.
Right.
You give content, but why do you think people are so interested in who you sleeping with? It's like like, what the world are they so interested in your private life?
But let me tell you something, Wiley. You see this bed right here, Wiley? You see this bed set I got for $1,600 from I Decorate Atlanta? You see this bed I got?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in it. I promise you. They didn't invite themselves in my bed. I didn't ask them to. Rent was due on the 1st. So for everybody that was in my bed, I need your cut on this $1,600 is what I need. I'm just saying. The bald-headed. Well, wait a minute, Wiley. They said I got a bald-headed black man. He's 6 foot tall and he lives in Buckhead. I need my where that nigga at? I need my Challenger paid off. I'm just saying. I'm not a. Let me tell you something. I know who in the hell and what. I don't know fully who I am, but I know what I bring to the table on camera. I bring you verse, trade. You don't quite know where to put me, and I get that. You know, sometimes I sound like a nigga from street. Sometimes I sound like Carlton. Sometimes I sound like your grandmama. It is what it is. I got all them spirits in me. Don't get mad at me. Get glad. And so my whole thing is I'm not mad if people think I'm gay. So what? Gay people are some of the greatest people ever. I'm not going to alienate my gay audience. I'm just saying you would be dumb to do that. You would not be a good business owner. However, what I do get upset is that they think I would get trains ran on me, come down my ass in my throat, and be broke. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Some of y'all have sex on air mattresses. I'm not that kind of guy. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I have. Okay, but I will tell you that because you are your story time about the white fraternity. Everybody kept saying that he doesn't know who he is, if he's black or is he white. But you were giving if you listen to your story time, you grew up in that environment.
It wasn't just
get that piece. You didn't say he must be white,
right? And it wasn't just that I can't just say I grew up in a white environment because I moved so many times.
Okay,
I've lived around mostly black, white, and diverse. Okay. But that was pretty much it. Really no other races. But what I can say is I'm disappointed in a lot of people because we missed an opportunity to have such a good conversation on certain segments of the black population that feels alienated in their youth. And then they go another way. If you LGBT, you know what it's like to come up and basically get homophobic slurs thrown at you, whether they know your tea or not. And then you feel alienated. That's why a lot of the black gays hang around the white gays. So I'm just, my whole thing was, it was never about me not knowing I was black. I'm black from my head to my toe. It was about the fact that my own black people didn't accept me. But it took me to grow up to understand it wasn't black people. It was just the negative black people I happened to be around. I happened to go to school with. It was just my environment. Down here in Atlanta, it's all kinds of black people here. You know what I mean? So it's all about environment. And so as a kid, you just see black faces and you see how you're treated. And then you see people that don't look like you and you see how they treat you. But that's also a trick of the enemy because I'm the shit and I'm intelligent. So just imagine if my own people would have lifted me up from my youth, what I could have been versus somebody that don't look like me uplifting me, which is a trick to get all of the good ones out of the community. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but
yeah, because you brought that up and you were speaking of from your experience, but how is it now in your adult life?
Oh, how's my adult life? Oh shit, man. First off, I don't give a damn about what your race is. That it's not important to me. But what I will say is in my adult life, of course, I hang around. Well, I don't really hang around people like that. But of course, the people that are around me, a lot of them are black, but they are black people with a driven mindset, entrepreneurs. They live in the way I see black people living down here. I've never seen black people live like that. I've never been to an all black neighborhood where you saw Rolls Royces and Bentleys and big houses. I've never seen that before Atlanta, which I call black excellence. I've never seen before here. And so I just hate we missed that opportunity to have that conversation. But no, in my adult life, do I still have those issues? Well, yeah, you see online, they call me gay every day, but not nearly as much as before. No.
Because, Atlanta is like the black Mecca, I would say. And that is where you can see black royalty and see black folks that are doing pretty good. And once I went down there, I was like, wow, they really doing it. And it's speedy in media too. Is great. So working with Tasha K, what was the benefits? I always wanted to ask you, what was the benefits of working with Tasha K?
Imagine somebody doing exactly what you want to do and they're successful at it and you have an opportunity to learn from them. Even just to be in a room and be a fly on the wall. Because Wiley, that's how you get ahead in this world. Asians do that. White people do that. You shouldn't, and don't get me wrong, some people want to take the hard way, and some people want to continue to bump their heads, and some people feel like, look, I know it, I got it, and that's fine. But me, if you figured out a way to do it, and you can help me to not make some of your same mistakes, I'm not gonna ever apologize for taking an opportunity. And us as black people, we need to get out of a struggle mindset and start giving our people opportunities. If you make it, help your brother out if he wants it. If somebody want to put in the work. But benefits was learning from one of the best in the game. That was the benefit. Learning both sides of the game, on camera and off.
Wow, because I've seen the growth. You are a success story, but you put the work in because you could be the fly on the wall and be lazy.
True.
And don't do, but you wasn't that guy. You actually put the work in. I don't see you getting distracted. You just stand focused on providing content for your audience. And many voices try to come up, but you still stay consistent in what you're doing, and you don't get in the beefs. You stay focused on the content, and that is key.
Absolutely, it is. And I'll tell you, people don't know. Well, maybe they do know, but if you don't watch me, like I came to Atlanta. I maxed out my credit cards and I just said I'm gonna make it work. When I tell you I came here with no money, Wiley, I mean like enough on my Capital One to pay half of the first month's rent, and then the other half I had in my checking account. That was it. So that was that was all I had, and I had to make this work. My first apartment, you saw it. Well, you didn't see it, but you know, the shit leaning like this, and I was grateful. I went out on those streets, but they didn't see the struggles. They didn't see the overdrafts. They didn't see me selling my MacBook to pay one bill and then flipping and making $5,600 in 1 month off of $100 computer. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. You know what I'm saying? So for people to even, and not saying you're saying this, but for people to think like, oh, well, he just got it easy. It's like, got it easy. No, I just know how to play my cards right. And I'm just not going to turn on somebody when they help me. And I'm just not going to do that, Wiley.
Right. And what gets me when I see other bloggers mention your name, they can't take away your consistency of the content. Yeah. I don't think people sit and watch. I said you can say whatever you want about Storm. He's still gonna go live. He's still gonna give his people the content. I didn't really see you get distracted and say, okay, I'm done with this, because you stayed focused. And I think that's another good way of working with Tasha K, because she could tell you who's gonna say what, who's gonna do this. I mean, she give you game. And I just noticed that you were listening to it, because a lot of stuff I said, Storm should say this, you didn't say it. When your name was mentioned in other videos, you didn't get distracted in the beef. You kept with the content.
Because I had to learn, Wiley, and I had to learn the hard way, unfortunately. But I had to learn that it's this is messed up to say, but it's a time and a place to do it. It's okay to report on somebody, you know, and other people in your same field when they're bigger. But then once you guys are close to the same level, leave that shit alone. You don't, in any profession, it's not professional to talk about your peers, because we are each other's peers, whether we want to realize it or not. So you don't see.
I get you. And I noticed that, and I said it is profitable because it makes the other party look like the man ain't saying that. He keep growing. Because Storm is unbothered by it. You don't get, they bring the questions every day, but you stand focused on what matters, and that is entertaining your 116,000 people that are subscribed now to the Storm Monroe Show.
Let me tell you something, Wiley. I got the opportunity of a lifetime to work with Tasha. I was a social worker watching her. Wow. And now I get to work with someone I get to watch that I was introduced to by a client and a coworker. Like, wow. This was all set up by God. I didn't get the management position, and 2 days later, Tasha hits me up. This is all ordained by God. So who would I be? Hey, look, before y'all get into, don't be saying this is godly, you gossiping. Let me tell you something. Everybody gossip. If your ass went there to see it, you're bearing false witness, man. And while you're judging me, get the phallus out your mouth, because it ain't your husband. Now, back to what I was saying. Who would I be to squander my opportunity because of some people that I don't even know? If I can't handle this, how am I going to handle the real world and handle the industry, Wiley? Come on now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you feel like doing the show now that you will get into Hollywood? Because I remember you say you were taking acting classes. So is that a goal for you to audition for like a Tyler Perry play or a Tyler Perry movie? Are you thinking about doing that?
I mean, once again, never say never. But I'll be very honest with you, you know, just like Wendy Williams says, my loyalty is to my audience. And so I don't mind getting into acting. I would love to. The answer to your question, yes. But I would also even let Mr. Perry know. But as far as that contract is concerned, ain't got nothing to do with my content online. I own this. Just like Tyler Perry owns his, I own mine. And so I'm not going to not keep it real to my audience. I'm not going to not say Oprah owes a lot of people apologies. You owe your girls in South Africa an apology. I'm not going to stop talking about that. Because that's me. Because guess what, Wiley? All those people in Hollywood, they kiss ass and lick this and lick that. Wiley, they broke. Wiley, they running the OnlyFans. They trying to be a YouTuber. Nene over there talking in her closet, struggling. Talking about go subscribe to her son. We don't give a damn about neither. Like, come.
And you had that exclusive with his son, baby mama.
Yes. And even when it came to that, bro, people can go from outlet to outlet. But when she came to me, she told me new info.
Come on.
Let me say something. I make people feel comfortable. People like to talk to me because I make them feel comfortable.
Yes, you do.
And I know how to charm a woman. I just do.
Interrogation.
Yes. You make it a conversation.
It's a conversation. And that's one thing that Tasha will do preaches. Even if you're not, she give you nuggets because you got to know how to take it and how to do it. But I'm very observant. I'm learning because sometimes you do get distracted into a beat, but you got to keep focused on the content. But how do you stay? Wow, I want to outshot. How do you keep going? Like, don't you ever get like, oh, I don't want to do it today? Because especially if you make it like you showed $10,000. I got it in my note that shit showed. I'm like, I get like that. I'm like, good God, that just in 1 month.
So you're asking, how do I keep going?
How do you keep going? Because when some people get like that, be like, okay,
it's humbleness. Okay. It's realizing that you hustle to get there, but there was a time when that check said $1. My very first YouTube check was $1.53.
Wow.
And so you can never get too comfortable in anything. But to answer your question on the shorthand, it's a lot of prayer and a lot of meditation. It's a lot of centering myself and focusing. And when I come out with my meditation ebook, my manifestation ebook, I'll go into more details. But your mind is so powerful. But guess what? When it's time to take a break, take the day off. A mental health break is a great thing, because if you get overwhelmed, you're no good to nobody. But to say, you know what, y'all, what's today? Monday. I see y'all Wednesday. There's nothing wrong with that. Your audience still gonna be there.
Yeah, and I had to start taking that because you get overwhelmed, especially you getting people numbers and they're you do need a break from it. But I will tell you this. Your story times is iconic because I'm interested in the Storm Monroe story. So when you did that with the white fraternity, with that, it created a lot of controversy. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, you don't know if he's black or white. And I'm like, that's the power of produce original content. You was getting dragged off your story time, just like with my story time when I said about catfishing. A whole series was birthed out of that. But that's the power of creating content. When you are the content, almost you started to become
it could be. You know why? Because you're talking about your most authentic self. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to talk about other people, but when you tell your story, people are extra critical because they're like, okay, if you can tell everybody else's business, don't be up here Wendy Williams and us. Like, we want to know. And so that's why I was just like, look, here it is. And I showed the pictures, and I blurred their faces out, but this is what it is, and this is why, and I don't regret it, and I had a great time, and
because you're not the only one that done that. It's like how many black people would be comfortable in actually sharing that information. It's key.
I mean, shit, Wiley. Hell, the pictures are out there anyway, so it's just like it's like. Let's just talk about it, because I noticed a few people were asking, and I'm like, oh, so you want a story time about that? And they're like, yeah. And then when I explained it the first time, like when I explained it and got right to the point, they didn't get it. But when I really, sometimes you gotta butter shit up. But yeah.
So when I look at you, and even with the Tevin Campbell piece, did you believe that about him? Because I read an article that he got caught with an undercover cop and all that. But did you believe that? Did you was like, this is something real?
Personally, Wiley, what I read, I was like, that's probably lightweight in regards to what he's been through in the industry. So for him to be caught with a cop, I'm like, okay, at least that was consensual.
Wow. It's really something in this business, and it makes you wonder when they said wickedness in high places. It's like a scripture like that. It's like when you go on a certain, I'm like, are you ready for that, to be in that type of business, to witness these things?
Oh man, Wiley, It's a song and a dance that you have to do. You know what I mean? Because the industry owns a part of YouTube now. YouTube is corporate, so it's a song and a dance. And so basically, do I want to be in the industry? Nah, I want to be of the people. Like Wendy and Charlamagne say, you can be and Angie Martinez, you can be of the people or you can be of the industry. I don't care about being invited to a Cardi B listening party or a this or that. I'm not trying to get on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't really care about that. I want to be for the people because the people are going to support. And I don't need to be all these people's friends because then you can't talk about them. I can't come to your house and report on you on Monday. Like, I can't do that.
Because even with the Cardi B situation, I call it that you're sharecropping because she ain't on your show doing what Jaguar Wright doing. You know, she's giving you that power, and that's part of your estate. That's part of your icon. Why Cardi B ain't doing it with these bloggers? I don't just want you to send me a DM and I'm excited, or get invited to a pool party and hope nobody drown. You know, so
oh, shit.
I'm just saying because less, but I'd rather you come on the show because it's more profitable for your company, for you as a person to do it instead of you going to ET or going to all these other brands.
Yes.
But
then you're mad when you're mistreated. Come over here because the people want to know, why did you call that dead black that black woman's dead baby a roach? Why did you most recently post some roaches again after beefing with TashaK? Do you really practice sympathy? Because we saw the altar in the background from the photos before. Where are all the men that have been affected by you? Where is their PSAs? Like, I'm gonna ask the real questions. She ain't coming. She ain't coming around here. She's not.
No. They say, ask him, is he doing for a living if YouTube didn't take off? What would you be doing if YouTube didn't take off for you?
Oh shoot, I tried so many things, man. The main goal actually, I was gonna be a child psychologist, and then I would have been master's level, and then I just realized I didn't want to deal with people and their problems. Let's see, I had a cleaning business that was okay, but God was not anointing that. So actually, no, I would be at the post office because I got an offer for a contract. So I just would have been at the post office.
Wow. But you still got your degree to fall back on.
I mean, Wiley, these degrees, man, look. The way I'm feeling now in my spirit, my balls then got 3 sizes bigger. I can't even have no balls at this point. Like, do what? No, I'm not doing shit. I see them, but like, I can't. This entrepreneurial life, like this hustler life of Atlanta, I love it because it's like sink or swim.
When I was listening to Joe Budden, he was talking about ownership, owning his content. And you're an owner, like you, and if you're different than an employee because your mindset is different.
Yes.
So you love being a boss. You love owning your own stuff, making your own money. It's the best feeling in the world.
But let's say this: it's nothing wrong with being an employee. It is nothing wrong at all with that. Your benefits, your weekends off, your sick time, your vacation pay. I don't have that. I have to make all of that for myself.
Yes, you have to put that in your retirement benefits. Some jobs have that. Well, okay, you got to pretty much get your own health care, dental care, everything else.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you are still consistent and you're successful because you went around to different places for that advice, and finally you found a place where you can get the help, and you've been you're doing it, and it's just the beginning for you. This is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, Wiley. We have 15.6 thousand watching us.
A lot of people.
Like, come on, man. I remember when the chat said 200.
Yes. I remember when I said it, and then you kept being at it, and then next thing you know, boom, and what gets when people say that, I said Storm is the type of person, you're very helpful. Any questions I have, you'll answer them. But you don't get caught up in the mess. You are so busy focusing on how to get to the next level, and you're giving the content. Because when I found you had your white jacket, you do the prescriptions, and then it went from there. Then you did the celebrity gossip, and then it just started to grow. and you really was getting into the celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
It's like you talk about subjects I didn't even know they talked about even before the Shade Room posted. You done already got that.
And that's what I like. Like, basically, I feel like even when it comes to us as Black bloggers, and I'm including you in this, Wiley.
Yes.
You don't have to limit yourself on what you talk about.
Come on.
Like, it's all kinds of tea out here. It ain't got to be the same 3 to 4 people. Like, I'm proud of how far you've come. I love your set.
Yeah, because I listened to you because I remember we did do Two Man and Lady, and you were talking about celebrity gossip because at one point I wasn't in celebrity gossip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I'm gonna do this, but I'm so glad that I listen now and we're putting it out there, and then the growth happen, and then you get these interviews, and then it's coming. But you got to be consistent, and the sky is the limit. What you talk about. I was like, oh, I don't think I should talk about the debate. I don't think, but that was like a great video for our numbers, almost 10,000 views. If Garden, just us talking about the presidential debate. So that's something different because a lot of people don't talk about politics. So that's like whatever my goal is, how I think now, whatever you're passionate about it, somebody else will be watching it and consuming it.
They will.
If you got the mindset, they will come and they will view it. Yeah. So I always want to ask you, what is your goals now? Because you at 100, you at the 100. Right. Okay, that's like, boy, okay, what's the next goal that you have?
Right. It's like, okay, what's next? I mean, when it comes to YouTube, I believe the numbers you want to hit is 100, then 250, then 500, 750, then 1 million. I believe that's how the plaques go. So, of course, my mind is already on the next 3 to 4 goals and how to get there. And so we working, Wiley. So, yeah, growing my numbers, growing in business opportunities, of course, and hey, I consult people too. You know what I mean, and helping other people not make my same mistakes. So,
yes, I'm listening, and people don't even have to pay for it if you just watch people and study people, and just sit at home, get you a notebook, get you a pen. But then at the end of the day, you got to look at self. How can I do this and do it? And I guarantee you will have people watching. Because when I started, I didn't have nobody, and I was doing it a long time, 7, 8 years on Blog Talk Radio, 1, 2 listeners, and I would delete YouTube channels. I'd be discouraged. Now I got 400 some people, and that's great because I remember I only had 1 or 2. So you got to understand people. Some people's stories are different, but that still don't take away from the relationships and the people that I've met, and then I go back to Chicago and I put those same rappers on with an audience I used to interview them when I only had 3 people listening. So I just think that whatever you're passionate about, do it, and people will follow you, and you will learn. Just do it.
And let me tell you this, Wiley, speaking of that, because I've been doing YouTube since the end of 2018. Now I actually made the channel in 2016 and didn't upload no content.
Right.
I went and did I went and created my own podcast. It's them episodes out there somewhere, and it would be 20, 30 people view it, 40, 50 people view it. And then I went back I actually said, no, I'm going to do YouTube. And I did it. And look where we are. So you never know. Like all those times I was just talking to myself in the car, it's paid off now. So, you reap what you sow. So well. So good.
And now my producer said you had 117,000 subscribers.
Uh-oh. 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 Wait a minute.
That's what somebody just texted me, and I was like, what? You have literally introduced Jaguar right to the YouTube streets, because now everybody doing content on Jaguar. Right?
Yes, they are. And let me tell you something. I looked at it. I think my very first interview with her, I'm at 600,000 views. The second one is like, I think close to 400K. We just did one tonight. And then between all of the chopping up I did and all those views, I brought in over 2 million views off of real conversations. And I love that my audience is ready for that now. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. And I want to say this. Thank you, brother, for coming on the Wiley Show. And you don't forget where you come from. And this is why you have to make good relationships. When people say, oh, why don't have a relationship? I do. I just don't discuss it. I don't have to say, oh, Storm is my friend every day. Because who you saying that for? If you cool with somebody, you cool with somebody. You ain't got to scream it on top of your lungs every single day. And I'm happy to see where you at. And I know God is going to take you further. You're going to be at a millions upon millions Hollywood skits. It's so much producing, so much that you're going to be doing because you already hungry for it. You're putting the work in, and you're not getting sidetracked again with unnecessary beefs. You don't get sidetracked. You staying consistent with the content.
I have to, Wiley. How can I beef with people I've never met?
That's true. You're right. That's something. And I gotta kiss myself because I'll be beef with people I never met these folks. I'll just be talking, and then you have to get out of it and be like, you know what? I'm gonna just do the content. And then God is my witness, they will filter out. You will get new people. They'll stop bothering you because once they see they can't get under you, they'll move on, and you will be sitting somewhere up with millions, and they'll still be struggling trying to get your attention. Just do the content. Us as Black bloggers, I do believe that if we stay focused on individual channels and on the content, it will be a better sector.
It would, Wiley. I'll give you another tip, and you can take it. Just give me my 10%. If the black sector, if the beef sector, really wanted to do it the right way, the trick will be to beef with one another, never take it too far, and copy the exact same way the reality shows do beef. Just copy that.
Yeah.
Which means every 3 to 6 months you rotate a beef, but just don't get too personal.
Yeah,
it's a way to do it, but yeah. So, but what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. So,
well, thank you so very much for coming on, Storm. And I just wish you nothing more. I know you got a long night because you got videos to chop up.
Amen. And Wiley, thank you again for letting me on, brother. Yeah, thank you. We've been on here 50 minutes, so 40 or whatever. So thank you for letting me on. And anytime you need something, man, just hit me up.
Always. Thank you, brother. All right. So we see people in the chat. How are y'all doing? Do y'all want me to open up the phone lines? Let me see. That was great. We had Storm Monroe on the show. If y'all want me to open up the phone lines,